Julie.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
Welcome
evening.
to Ménage à Trois. We are on our third episode today with me, Sky. We'll be talking about mind over matter. If it doesn't mind, then it don't matter, right? And
Yeah.
here with me today are the two parties. Of course, it wouldn't be a threesome without these two wonderful women with me today, Pao and Julie. Pao, would you like
Yeah.
to take it away?
Hello. Yes, hi. Again, I'm Pau or Paula. Um, a little bit about myself. I just want to share. I have a day job and then part-time actress here in the Bay Area, and I really give importance with mental um, wellness. That is one my yun talaga yung gusto ko talagang i-advocate sa lahat.
Yes. And I'm Julie. And I'm also a wellness and cannabis advocate here in the Bay Area. And we want to push for the medical cannabis legalization in the Philippines so that it can help a lot of patients. And we hope to uh, be a light for anyone who's having a dark night. You can
Okay.
say.
So, yes, this is a growth advocacy, and we want to grow together and be advocates for better health and the gifts
Yes,
of nature.
yes,
So, yes,
oo.
so just a little bit about myself. My name is Sky, and I am an occupational therapist by profession. And just to start things off, I do love my job.
Yeah,
Yay! So,
Nice.
oo.
our jobs take a lot of energy, a lot of our mental skills, of our physical skills. So when we do go to work, you have to have that good mindset. Like, what is your mindset when you get into work? And it's very important to actually enjoy your job, right? Being an
Yes,
actress, do
enjoy
you
it.
enjoy being an actress, pal?
Oh, yes. I wish I'm holding a script to 24/7.
Yeah.
Yes,
Ang
I really
passion mo.
enjoy.
Mhm.
Passion ko talaga yon. Yeah, so tinatry kong i-balance yung day job ko kasi by profession, day job ko is I work in a healthcare. So nakaka-stress talaga
Mm-hmm.
yung work kong yon and boring siya.
Kaya
Boring
kailangan mo na yung
siya.
pang-spice up your life.
Yeah, we spice up your life,
Yeah,
no?
Yes.
so, oo, parang Hannah Montana lang, 'di ba? Parang dalawa yung
Dual
buhay ko.
personalities.
Oo.
Yeah, so yun. Pero passion ko talaga is creating art is yun. Yun talaga yung gusto ko gawin. Si Julie, for sure,
Yeah.
music, 'di ba?
Oo. Sadly lang kasi because of the pandemic na nawalan ng mga gigs and
Mm.
ang hirap mag-band practice for a long time because bawal lumabas, sabi nga ni Kim Chiu. But I'm saying it, ano,
Oh, that's a thing,
Oo
huh?
nga.
That was a
oo
thing. That
naman,
was
'di
a
ba?
thing.
Pero yeah, but thankfully naman wala na tayong, quarantine talaga. We're not really in quarantine anymore here in California, correct? Unlike before nung kaka-start pa lang ng pandemic. But yeah, as a musician, yun naman passion ko din yun and even if walang pandemic, I just sit on the piano and ang sarap ng feeling na I just
Mm.
play and my flow lang and then I create songs. Yes.
Yeah, it's
Oo.
it's funny you use the word flow.
Yes.
Yeah, because have you guys watched the Disney movie Soul?
Oh, yes, yes.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oo,
they use the
ayan,
word
that's what they were
flow
looking
to,
for, huh? Yeah.
Oh,
so it's
Mm.
such
cute
a nice
naman.
word. Like everything just flows. Really, when you do your music, you just feel
Ang bilis
the
ng oras, you
emotion.
know
Yeah,
what I mean? Yeah, because
you
you're
feel
enjoying.
rested and you feel into yourself.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. You're in the zone.
You're there.
Yes,
You go. You're in
exactly.
the
That's
zone.
exactly what flow is, 'di ba?
Oo.
Being in the
Yeah.
zone.
So, are we always in the zone?
Hindi.
Are you
Well,
always?
we wish, 'di ba? So that
Yeah.
we're always like it feels so good to be in the flow, but sometimes we're not there.
Sometimes we're not.
Yeah. Oo.
Mm-mm.
So yeah.
I think flow also comes with inspiration, 'di ba? Sometimes when
That's
you
right.
feel inspired, yan, ramdam natin.
Mm-hmm.
But there are days
Kasi,
where we are uninspired.
oh
Yes.
yeah, kasi ang daming distractions din eh.
Totoo.
'Di ba? So
Yeah.
parang, oh my gosh, ano yung uunahin ko muna, or parang ang hirap lang din talaga na mag-focus. Like, ano lang, share ko lang really quick. Kasi yung sa day job ko, I work from home kasi nga, dahil nga sa pandemic situation. So, since last year, I've been working from home. Ang hirap lang na i-turn off mo lang yung laptop mo, tapos kailangan mo mag-rehearse or what. Ang hirap nang bigla kang
Switch.
mag-switch
Oo.
ng brain mo eh. Parang, tas ang hirap din to get into that zone. Tas,
Yes.
yeah, so parang mahirap dahil nga may distraction. So, ayun lang. Pero dapat kalma lang. Kayo, anong ginagawa niyo kapag yung parang di kayo switch dun sa other role niyo?
Well, ako naman when it comes to playing piano, cause for me, I really wanna practice every day. But the truth is, I don't get to practice every day because of yun nga, I feel uninspired sometimes. Like there's just so many things to do. I feel like nangunguna yung anxiety kasi,
Mm,
but in all honesty, if I just really take time to sit on the piano, then it will just come naturally after like let's say
mhm,
a few minutes of just doing it. You get what I mean? So it's just
Mm-hmm.
really a matter of just doing the action in motion na talaga.
Mm-hmm.
But yun, like, kailangan talaga yung, what do you call that? Like, you're really conscious na you wanna do it. So, you do it. Gets? Yun yung sa akin kasi minsan yun nga, I feel uninspired. But then I just really have to push myself to do it. And once I do it, tuloy-tuloy naman na ulit. Yeah.
Yeah.
mm,
So being in the healthcare profession, so my stress comes with caring for people.
Oh, yes. So,
So
yeah.
yeah, it as a healthcare professional, you're just around a lot of dysfunction every single day. You know,
Yeah.
you're around a lot of sick people, a lot of not just physically, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And they come to the hospital looking for answers, looking for a cure, looking for healing. And I want to say I want to be that instrument of healing and of change
Yes.
to my patients who I see, because these are my community members. We have to be aware. I have to be aware that the people who I see in the hospital, they live in my community. They could be my neighbor. They could be the person I walk down the store or my cashier. You
Yeah.
know, these are people that I should be caring for. And it just takes a lot in you,
Mhm.
just being I think just giving a lot of yourself, your knowledge every single day. And I think that's where the stress comes in when you run on empty, because you
Yeah,
can
parang,
never,
mm,
yeah, you can't give what you don't have, is what I always tell myself. Like you give so
mhm,
much, care, and you give so much of yourself
para rin tayong
during good
battery.
times.
'Di
Yes,
ba? So,
nauubos na tayo.
nauubusan na rin tayo ng energy sa dami ng mga
yeah,
inaasikaso. Yes.
Mhm.
Mm.
So,
Yeah,
we also have to learn how to recharge, I guess. that
exactly.
that's that
Yes.
that's the key word. We got to recharge ourselves
Mm.
in all ways. So let's
mm,
see how you guys recharge your when you feel uninspired. And so for me, I love traveling. That's just my passion. Like I travel with a passion.
May may
yeah,
kasamang pera yung recharge mo,
Yeah.
Kasi travel is, you spend money too. But yes, yes, that's a lot. I don't know, maraming tao yun din talaga yung recharge nila because
Yeah.
just putting them in a different environment, lalo na kung medyo naturey or I don't know, like other
Yes.
people, they just feel na mag-iba lang sila, change of environment is already a recharge for them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just helps my mental state, like getting out of where I am all the time, just seeing something new,
Mm.
kumbaga. And it's just it's a nice time to just relax and do the things you want and you enjoy. So
Yeah.
when COVID started,
Yeah.
Ayun na.
that's the first thing that was hit. For me, that was like the biggest
Was
Ah,
blow. Was like you
traveling.
can't
Yeah.
travel.
Mm-mm.
So
mm,
that was like a very hard time. Like telling somebody you gotta stay put, don't go anywhere, you gotta wear your masks.
Yes.
You can't see your friends, you can't go anywhere, you can't be in crowds. Like you want to go to music festivals, you want to go to, you know,
Oh, yes, yung mga gigs, no?
yeah,
mhm.
concerts, things like that.
Oo.
It was just everything was canceled. So that was a very stressful time in 2022 for me. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not alone.
I think
So
marami, oo,
what
marami
what
nagsuffer.
was the most significant stressor when 2020, because 2020 hit hard, it
Yes.
hit us all in different ways. And excuse me, so what was your moment when you said like this is gonna be a hard time ahead
For 2020?
for 2020? Yeah, when the pandemic started and we were all going about our normal lives. I was traveling at the time when I heard
Yeah.
I heard the whole
Well,
news crash down.
Mhm.
2020 is really stressful for me. I may be smiling right now because I wanna just make it yung parang comedy na lang. Pero in all honesty, it's not comedic to go through 2020 for me
Mm-hmm.
ever again. First and foremost, because of the pandemic, my husband is actually a cancer survivor. He only has one lung, so that put him on high risk agad.
Mm-hmm.
On and on my end, like I have to take care of myself extra kasi I, yung asawa ko, if he gets COVID, then from me, 'di ba? Parang oh my gosh, ano
Yes.
na kaagad yun, critical kaagad yun sa kanya. And
Mm,
not only that, I have to consider my son also, who was very young, and you know, he can't really hang out with his friends as well because mas iniisip namin yung overall health ng family talaga. We're protecting my husband from COVID in general. And then um, another blow for me for 2020 is I also found out that one of my friends who I thought were good friends of mine, um, well, allegedly had a video of me in their bathroom and then was telling other people about it. So that messed me up really bad. Like I couldn't believe it. Like it's very traumatic to be honest. I
Yeah.
went to counseling. It's crazy. That's why like it's such. I'm trying my best not to give you so much reaction because I'm trying to be professional here. But the truth is, that was very stressful for me, and uh, yeah, it's just a nightmare, you can say. And then not only that, we gave all our efforts for this production team where we put our hearts to it. We gave time, effort, money, ideas, friendship, even invested friendship. And then at the end, we were just discarded. All our efforts were just discarded. We were disrespected. We weren't shown empathy at all. It was just too egoistic. Like the last segment that we had, we were talking about ego. I had to encounter a very, very egoistic person who just turned my head around because he really showed narcissistic attitude. At first, he had a lot of praise. He was because I'm very professional. To be honest with you, I I'm,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like Paula. Like I value professionalism,
Yes.
especially when it comes to teamwork or work in general. Be professional about things. When we talk about things that we plan to do and we have dates in mind, we have deadlines in mind. You know, we have to be professional and meet those deadlines. If you cannot meet those deadlines, at least be vocal about it so others can do something about it instead of messing up the whole thing at the end. So I'm very professional, and yeah, that really hit me because that made me realize that friends don't do that to other friends. How they treated me and all that. So
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, 2020 very stressful indeed. A lot of learnings, and that is why I think boundary is really an important thing
Mm-hmm.
because I'm so friendly to people. I'm very open to people. but in the end, I guess not everyone is to be trusted, sadly,
Mhm.
in your life. And that's what I learned along the way. And yeah, I just want to share that quickly. It's a very long story, but I just want to cut it off right there. Yeah. Yes. And I know, Sky,
Um,
you know about that.
yes.
You're one of my friends here who knows what I've been through. Yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
more power to you. I mean, we're all still
To
standing
us,
here,
to
and
us.
to us, and
Yes.
this has been really a truly um just 2022 is just it was just such a it's
Yeah,
such a
2020. Yeah.
it's in history that this is one of the
And
the
sadly, a lot of
difficult
people
years.
died too. It's so
Yes,
heartbreaking. Yeah.
and I think that's what we have to also remember, all the people who actually lost their lives
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
for this whole pandemic. And it's hard to see people very young or very old. It's just it, walang pinipili eh.
Mm-mm.
Walang pinipili. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people are still struggling, are struggling for a loss of a family member. Let's not
Yes.
forget those people who they left behind as well. So,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
and
considering, just sorry to cut you, but considering the fact that they died during COVID, that no one can, be there with them
yes,
in the room, right? They had to die alone because of their disease, or,
hmm
Yeah.
right? And they had to be cremated. They have no choice if they want to get buried. Like it's not an option. Am I correct? Right? I
this is in the
feel.
Philippines. Yes, this is a
Oh, yeah.
situation that happened close to home. We had a family friend who unfortunately passed due to COVID, and his wife was not even allowed to see his remains. And he was, like what you've mentioned, he was cremated
Cremated, right? Yeah.
immediately. And you have to think like of her feelings. Like, how was the closure for that? Like, she wouldn't even
Mm-hmm.
to say goodbye and all these things. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of questions and how we're going to move forward emotionally as well from
How
this.
are we gonna heal, like, as a whole
Yes.
nation? You know what I mean? Like,
And I think
Yeah.
there's probably this podcast is a one of, I think, is a good way to talk about these things. It's a good platform to just open up that a lot of people are still suffering till now.
yes.
you know
Mm-hmm.
how about you, Pao? Do you have anything? How
Yeah.
2022 2020, sorry, how 2020 treated you?
Yeah, it was a roller coaster ride. Um, Imagine waking up every morning, because that's my habit. Every time I wake up in the morning, I open the TV and then listen to the news.
Mhm.
Um, because of, I need to check what the weather is. But 2020, it's a different story. Imagine waking up and then all you see is like the death rates on each state in the
Yeah.
United States, and it's, uncontrollably rising, and that is really scary. Um, my yung day job ko kasi, my work, they didn't, I'm very fortunate that my managers at work are very proactive in terms of like how to deal with the situation. And I'm very grateful for my managers. Um, so we immediately decided to just work from home. However, sobrang worried ako sa mommy ko kasi she has to go to work. Ba, naiyak
Yeah.
ako.
Mhm.
Ayun, tapos I keep on like telling my mom na, please try to speak up kasi this is
Yeah.
for your safety. Kasi even though si mommy naglalakad lang pauwi, ayun, nasi-stress din siya kasi ano eh, nagger ako eh. Nagger ako, tapos lagi ko siyang rine-remind, tapos nag-aaway kami, ganyan. Pero inexplain ko naman sa kanya na the reason why I'm talking this way, it's because it's for your safety.
Mhm.
Yes.
Um, Pareho kami may asthma, kami
Oh,
ng
yeah.
mami ko. And So, ano kami, nasa
Nasa, yeah,
risky
high risk
na
pa
ano
rin na
kami,
part.
oo.
Yes, oo.
So, ako, alam ko kaya ko naman sarili ko, pero worried lang talaga ako sa
Sa
mami ko kasi
elders,
siya lang
yes.
yung,
Mhm.
siya lang yung meron ako. So, sinabi ko yun sa mami ko, ganyan. Tapos, buti na lang, talagang pinag-pray ko talaga kay God na sabi ko, please sana magkaroon ng resolution sa work ng mami ko and they could allow mama to work from home.
Yes.
Tapos eventually, siguro mga after 2 months, kasi lockdown March eh, no? So mga April, May, mga May, nagwo-work na siya from home. Mga twice a week, ganyan. Ayun, natuwa naman ako, may workmate ako sa, may coworker ako sa bahay.
Yes, oo, nice to know. Tsaka
Ayun, may
for
co
her safety talaga, because in your area, the COVID really rose up talaga
Mhm.
in your
Mhm.
city. So, yeah.
Yeah, tapos nandyan pa yung mga aggressive behaviors around in our
Mm-mm.
area here in downtown. Um, So yeah, for me, 2020 was an emotional roller coaster,
Mostly.
and then at the same time, it was also the year when when I actually decided to pursue acting.
Oh,
Even though I still have my day job, I decided to to go to school for to go to an acting school. Tapos in January ako nag-start, and then I thought everything is like, I thought all my docs are like aligned and like this is what
yeah.
I'm gonna do, plan A, plan B, plan C. But it didn't.
Yeah. Diba?
So, yung acting school ko, so everything now is done virtually. And it's so hard to actually pursue acting when everyone is in hybrid. Kasi lahat ano eh, sa bahay yung setup, lahat rehearsal, lahat table read. Ang hirap and it is very exhausting to the point na parang sumasakit na yung mata mo kasi meron ka ng Zoom fatigue. Imagine
Oh,
Mhm.
like your
yes.
day
Oo.
job is your like from 8 to 5 you're on your laptop, you have back-to-back meetings, and then after 5 p.m. you need to be again on your on your computer screen because you need to do
Mhm.
rehearsals, you need to do your classes, you need to do such and such. So ano siya talagang I really tried my best to keep things simpler day by day para hindi ako masyadong nasa stress. Pero inano ko na lang talaga, pinasa Diyos ko na lang talaga.
Yes.
Sabi
Mhm.
ko, God, hindi ko alam ano nangyayari or what. Pero yun, tas buti na lang yung friends ko, I'm still able to talk to them. And then
Mm-mm.
my family in the Philippines, yun pa,
Oo.
na sobrang na-stress din ako sa family ko sa Philippines. Talagang sabi ko na lang, nagdasal na lang talaga ako noon kasi it's out of my control.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Mm-mm.
sabi ko na lang, basta buhay parents ko. Naiyak
Yeah.
ako.
Yes.
Sa family ko. Okay na ako dun.
So,
Yes.
So it was,
you mentioned something about making things simpler for yourself. Like,
mm,
how were you able to cut down your tasks into more manageable days?
so I relied so much on my work calendar.
At
Yeah.
least meron kang
Yeah.
calendar para
Para
talaga,
lang talaga focus ako na
oo.
like I don't know how I was able to actually do that for myself, but I relied so much on my work calendar to the fact that na-minimize ko yung noise on what's going on.
Mhm.
Like, okay, Paula, para talaga akong may yung tawag dun
Blinders.
sa
Yes,
horse? Yeah, so
oo.
para ako may blinders.
Para
So para,
focus lang muna dun on what you can control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, so like, I need to do this. Yun lang talaga yung calendar ko sa work. Tapos yung calendar ko rin sa acting. Um, I tried to distract myself in a way na ginagawa ko like I'm trying to do things that I actually like.
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
So like I like Legos. So bibili ako. So I got myself some Legos from Target. Tapos Korean dramas.
Yes.
That works
Oo,
too.
pambalanse mo
That
yun.
works too. One more thing.
Yeah.
Paula, you did mention something about so it looks like being organized is number one.
Oh
Being
yeah.
organized with
Yes.
your day and just being focused, right? But
Mm.
you did mention something about prayer. Is that something you do usually? Is that something you practice? So share us about that a little bit.
Yeah, so yeah, I pray a lot.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I do pray a lot. That is my meditation.
Yeah.
Um, Before pandemic, regardless what day, Sunday or Sunday to Saturday, regardless what it is, I would just like sit down. Kasi may pinagdaanan din ako before. And this is how I discovered like, oh, this kind of meditation actually works for me. So, because of that incident, na kahit anong araw pumupunta ako sa simbahan, uupo lang ako doon. Like, I would just like sit down. And even though there is a mass, of course, I would participate in the mass, but I would just like sit down inside the church and don't think. Quiet lang ako.
Oo.
As
Mm-hmm.
in, quiet lang ako. Um, it is up to me if I feel like praying, like if I have any prayers that Lord, I want this or I need this, I need your guidance. But ultimately, most of the time, I would just like sit down inside at church and do nothing. Like that's just like me clearing
Clearing
my
your
my
head.
mind.
Your
Yeah.
mind. So that's how you
Mm-mm.
clear your mind. You go to a quiet place, to church, as you mentioned, and just try to um, be still. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's what you're doing there, and finding your center in that
Uh-oh.
moment. How about you,
Yeah.
Julie? You have moments of meditation, of quiet
Yes.
time. What does your routine look like?
Actually, every time that I'm in a situation wherein I know that I have no control of, and that's when I really start praying in the sense that
Mm.
I ask for wisdom because I know that, like, I believe in a God that really guides you to the right path. I believe it's not a person per se. It can be an energy of goodness, of
Yeah.
wisdom, of anything that is positive or helping you to grow in your life. That's what I believe in, a God that can guide me through that to those
Mm-hmm.
things
Mm.
and bring me to the right path. So every time I feel like it's out of my control and it's really stressing me out, like things that happened to me also in 2020 or even this year, things that are heavy. Yes, I do pray, and it's my way of being humble also, that I'm accepting that I cannot do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I have to let go. It's my way of letting go. You can say it's my way of
Mm-hmm.
letting go when I pray, when I talk to God, and when I meditate. It's my way of letting things go in a sense that our hearts, everything that it's happening, and I just wanna trust, have faith by
Yeah.
letting go, letting God lead, while I do what I can, like the things that I have control of. Then that's what I'm gonna divert my focus on, and then at the same time, just to balance out all this negativity, all this noise, I have to find time for what I love. For
Yeah.
example,
Mm-hmm.
even if I feel uninspired, every time I give time to music, it really helps me feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that, if I feel so chaotic, like I even clean the house. it
Yes,
helps me, but yeah,
yes,
it helps me.
yes.
Yeah.
hmm
That helps.
and then I surround myself with life in general. Like, for example, because I view things, for example, if I'm in the computer the whole day, that is not life for me. That is electronic. You know what I mean? But I want to surround myself with life, meaning
Mm-hmm.
the sun, plants, grass, field, everything that is alive also. So I feel oneness, because when I feel oneness, there's a certain peace that overcomes me. And yeah, that's part of my alone time, my healing time also. I just want to be surround myself with nature. shut my mind, and appreciate
Mhm.
the
Mm,
things that are around me. And then aside from that, I also like to see quality friends who can
Mhm.
really
mhm,
lighten up the energy. Iba kasi yung communal energy, 'di ba, no? Pag ano,
mm,
Mhm.
kaya nga minsan gusto natin na pumupunta tayo sa mga concerts and all. There's a communal energy na talagang,
Yes.
you feel so alive. So same thing with the friends that um you know, ngayon mas natututo na ako sa mga toxic friends na, or versus the talagang friends that are good for you. So every time I'm with the friends that are really good for me, who who respect me, and who love me. So
Mhm.
yun, iba yung energy. It's
Yeah,
healing also. Aside from
mm,
family time, of course. I
for
love
sure.
family time too. So yeah,
mm.
those are the
A
things for
lot
me.
of things, really, what we're really mentioning is a lot to do with our mind,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
the way we think, or
Mm-mm.
what we think about.
Because
And I
what
think
we think kasi connects to what we feel also.
that's right.
Yeah.
So when like, same for me, I do have a routine every day. I do wake up at 5 in the morning. I have my cup of tea. I've been decreasing my coffee, so I've been drinking tea in the
Coffee.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and I would
Uh-huh.
do my quiet time.
Yes.
I'd
Mm-mm.
listen to music. I would listen to music. I'd pray. I'd read my Bible. Yes, and then I'd exercise. So exercise has been a very good routine for me, and it's also sort of
A good
therapeutic.
release. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It like because we all know that moving your body, doing exercise changes a lot of chemicals in your brain, and
Yes.
we
Mm,
all say, oh, you have a brain imbalance, that's why you're having depression. Oh, your hormones are out of whack, which causes this and this and this. But we just got to back things up a little bit and go
Mm-mm.
back to what our bodies are for,
Yes.
because
mm,
they're all connected. The body, the brain, they're all connected into one, which is
Mm-mm.
which is our beings and our spirituality, our mental health. They all reflect. Um, they all we all want to try to work as one. That's our
yeah.
goal, to have balance in our lives.
Yeah.
And that's
Yes.
why for me, exercise has been such a good release for me. I would
Mm-mm.
say just being able to improve your range of motion, being able to increase the heart rate, because
Yes.
after that, like after doing a nice workout, I feel like $1,000,000, really.
Kasi sa
Uh-huh.
ano rin,
you know
the dopamine,
Nice.
this exercise,
exactly.
Yeah.
yeah,
The
It
releases
dopamine, the
releases the
dopamine in your,
happy
all
yes,
these
hormones.
happy
wonderful
hormones
happy
in your
hormones. There
brain.
we go.
Yes, happy hormones of the brain.
So all
Happy
these happy
hormones.
hormones like just hype me up,
Mm-mm.
and I'm like, I'm ready to go to work. I'm ready to do what I'm supposed to do. But the thing is, like, I have to prioritize my mental health. I have to
Yes.
prioritize my spirituality. I have to prioritize myself in the morning,
Mm-mm.
because
Mm,
for me, I believe we live in a longitudinal and a latitudinal world.
Mm-mm.
So everything on this plane are all the physical. What we see, what we hear, what we taste, what we smell. That's just very superficial. That's just living on this plane,
Yeah.
a
mm,
very horizontal
Parang yun yung
plane.
physical layer lang. Okay.
Yes. But we also have for me, I have a vertical plane, which is my communication with a higher being. And for me, you have to do both in order to attain balance.
balance.
You have to work on this plane, and you have to work on the vertical planes. And so
Yeah.
that for me is my meditation, my yoga, my um smoking cannabis helps.
Oh
I
Mm,
yes,
mean,
for
it
me
clears
also.
my mind. It just allows me to relax. It just lets me get to that quiet place and be still. And I think that's where the cannabis use comes in my life. So yeah, I would focus. For me, I focus a lot on my mornings are very important to me. My routines in
Your
the morning
start.
are very important.
Yeah.
your
And that
morning
really just
ritual.
sets my day. That really sets my day, and all the wonderful effects of exercise and drinking water and all this really helps get our minds working, right?
Yes.
Mm,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's
It's
a
like
big help talaga. Oo, like, because when I also experience a lot of stressful situation, like even if I feel uninspired, I have to push myself to take care of my body because
Mm-hmm.
my body and my brain and everything else that's in my system, they all work together. Para tayong kotse, 'di ba?
That's
Yung
right.
yeah, exactly like sa kotse na 'pag nagsira yung itong part na 'to, 'di ba parang damay na yung buong kotse, ganyan.
damay
So
na.
same thing, you really have to take care yung your overall health
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
talaga sa katawan mo. And because our minds are connected to what we feel, we have to be mindful also of what we kasi kumbaga for me, like, we have a lot of thoughts, but
Mm-hmm.
not all our thoughts um is um is attached to our identity. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
for example, we have a lot of different thoughts in our head when we're mad, but
Yeah.
minsan sasabihin mo pa sa utak mo na, "Gusto ko siyang ano, like mamatay," in your
Yeah.
head only. But in
Oo.
all honesty, you know yourself. You know that you don't want that person to, you know what I mean? It's just a
Mm-hmm.
thought. So, not all our thoughts is equal to our identity, but it's what we focus on. What thoughts are you focusing on? Then that's what you will become. You understand
Yeah.
what I mean? We have
Yeah.
a lot of thoughts kasi, and then it doesn't mean that you think of this, you're already that. It just
Yeah.
means that if you focus, keep focusing on that thought, then that will mold who you
Mm-hmm.
are. So be
That's right.
careful on what you focus your thoughts on kasi that's
Yeah.
also what you're gonna feel, what's gonna mold you.
Yeah, and it also sets a tone of your day.
Yes.
Like if you wake up in the morning and like naiinis ka na, yung parang you don't have like a nice morning because you heard something or something bothered you.
Maybe
It
the
is
news is bothering you too much, Pao.
I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But but it's ano it's a way of like how are you going to entertain these thoughts? Is
Yes.
it worthwhile? Is it just white noise?
Mm-mm.
Kasi what you entertain would attract energy eh,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
'di ba? So parang you have to be mindful of like what thoughts do you want to linger in your head?
Yes, yung gusto mo
Parang so
i-focus. Yeah.
yeah. So, di ba nga parang very cliche nga minsan sasabihin, oh yeah, think positive, be optimistic, things. I mean, mahirap siyang gawin. It's
Yeah.
so hard to stay positive. Para kang ano positive Pollyanna na nun eh. Di ba? Like happy-go-lucky. I mean, we don't live in a perfect world, but you could actually decide what kind of life you want to live on, and
Yeah.
um, you have control of what things that you want to focus on.
Yes.
So that way, you could actually reflect or you could actually see what kind of life you want to live if you have these kind of thoughts. Kasi, di ba, parang maganda naman sana kung you're reading something, like on Instagram, like every morning when I wake up, I open like there's an app in
Yeah.
iPhone, yung daily verse Bible.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I would go to Instagram kasi may mga pina-follow ako doon ng mga wisdom feed, Insta God stories.
Yes.
Yun,
To
that
inspire your
really,
day
parang minsan
in a good way.
makikita ako na something good is about to happen. Parang, oh,
And
nice. You
just the
know?
thought of you focusing on something good will happen today, sometimes it just manifests itself
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Because you're already emitting that good energy, and you're also inviting good energy to come to you.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the mind nga lang din, not a lot of people have self-control. Not a lot of people are just disciplined to really control where their mind is focusing
Mm-hmm.
on. Sadly,
Yeah.
and I would encourage people to really train our minds on focusing on the things that are good for us. You know what I mean? Yeah.
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 I love
Mm-hmm.
the word I love the word you used, which is train.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's imagine that the mind is actually like a muscle. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we like, if we wanna improve the muscle of our biceps, we
We
do the
eat. Yeah.
bicep curls, right? Same
Yes.
for our mind. We have to train our mind to think
Mm.
of to eliminate the unnecessary noise.
Yes.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I think that's very important. We have to learn how to shut down what are not important and what are not relevant in the now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have, like, for me, I try to always I kind of narrate what I'm doing at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So, for example, I'm washing the dishes. Let's just say I'm washing the dishes. So, in my mind, I'm like, I'm reaching for the sponge. I'm putting soap on the sponge. I'm getting the sponge. It helps me be more present. Actually,
Yes.
it
Uh-huh.
helps me more. It helps me. It helps me be more focused in what I'm doing. That I'm not sloppy. I'm not breaking dishes. I'm not, I'm very thorough in what I'm doing. Is really
Mm.
focusing. So I'd like
Yes.
to challenge you ladies. Try that in your routine today. Just make it simple, like brushing your teeth. Instead of, we are just so, we're just so trained to
Yes.
hold our phones all the time. Brushing our
Yeah.
teeth, we're holding our phones, we're sitting on the pot, we're washing our we're on our phones in the
Yes.
bathroom. We're always on the phones, and I think that's another cause of a lot of anxiety in our
That's
in
true.
the
Yeah.
people today. It's like we're just always on technology, so we just
Yeah.
have
Mm.
to put it down and just focus on what we're doing at this very moment. It can be simply eating, simple eating.
Yes.
Just focus, enjoy your food, you know
Mm. Yeah.
be present, be
Kasi
here.
yung pagfo-phone masyado rin and just focusing your attention on something that's you can say is not really helpful for you. You get what I mean? Like
Yeah,
nagdi-distract ka lang ng sarili mo. Um, my point is like yun eh na parang masyado kang you're not in the now. You're
yes,
not appreciating the present moment. You're not observe yung parang what Sky is saying is you kind of get out of your body and really observe your surrounding, even you. Like
mhm,
you observe what you're doing and your
yes,
surrounding. Like I remember my philosophy teacher in college before she did mention something like when people are also binge watching horror movie series, whatever, or their their whole being is on watching that TV na parang
mhm,
talagang gulat na gulat ka or something pag may gulat na scene, which is not bad naman. But the point is, because you're in that, ano eh, you're in that distraction mode na nandun ka, nanonood ka. But sometimes, di ba, you have to take yourself out na parang, uy, parang OA naman ata yung reaction ko. Ah, ay ano, makeup lang yan, nandyan, makeup lang yan nasa TV. You know what I mean? Kasi pag ano,
Yeah.
so you also, parang yun yung nalalabas mo rin yung sarili mo sa isang sitwasyon and
mhm,
na-o-observe mo mismo yung sarili mo at yung sitwasyon. That will be
Mm.
yung parang mas aware ka. You're in
yes.
a higher level of consciousness and mas aware ka sa situation right here,
Yeah.
right now. Yeah.
That's, I think that's the word, like you're more self-aware with
Mm.
what you're
Yeah.
doing. You're not careless, and you know your actions, because, like, the more you think about it, the more you feel it, and the next thing you know, you're doing it already.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's why thoughts are very, what we always tune our cars. We're very mindful. Ay, may tumutunog sa kotse ko, ano yan, yung brakes ko. We always um um check on our cars, but do we check on ourselves as
We
often
have
as we
to,
should?
yeah.
Tama ba yung pag-iisip ko ngayon? Tama ba yung
Yeah.
digestion ko ngayon? And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Our bodies is a machine, and we have to keep it in tune. We have to keep it
Yeah.
in order to. And I think this is where my whole healthy lifestyle kind of began, is when 2020 actually hit. Like,
Mm.
everybody was saying 6 feet apart, wash your hands, um, wear a mask.
Math.
Yun lang eh. They were just pounding those three information in your mind. But how about the other side of keeping healthy, keeping fit, exercising, sleeping right, drinking water,
Yes.
having good mental health? These are also this will affect our everyday lives as well. Kasi ito lang ang shield natin. This is our only defense against illnesses. And I
Yes.
think
Yeah.
there was just a lack of information regarding that.
That's true.
the importance of vitamin D or B or all these vitamins like sunshine,
Mm-hmm.
and I think there was just a big gap in that information that I was like, that's why I kept educating my patients, like, guys,
Kumbaga,
this is the only way to be healthy is you have,
yeah,
it's
Yeah.
not, we can't give you a pill to be healthy, be immune, I mean, the
nasa tao
the
talaga rin.
vaccine can only do so much,
Yeah.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest here. It can only do so much, but that's why you have to improve your overall health.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oo, totoo. Kasi yung iba naman when they feel like, parang when they feel helpless because of the pandemic, instead of focusing on healing, on um, choosing um, better choices ba to improve your situation, your mental health is so important lalo na this pandemic, 'di ba?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But instead of people considering that and taking care of that, yung iba na nagsi-switch nila to the extreme. Like, for
Mm-hmm.
example, yung iba would, because of pandemic, yung iba naging desperado, they cheat on other people just so makaisa
Mm,
sila. That's a parang negative way of approaching naman the situation, 'di ba?
Mm.
yeah,
Yung iba would like, I don't know, like drug binge, drink binge lang because they just
yeah,
feel miserable and they're just gano'n, like yun
Yeah.
yung ginawa nilang way of, facing
Coping.
o coping
it's
nila.
maladaptive. Parang hindi sila
Yeah,
ka-adapt sa changes. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
kasi para sa akin din, as human as we are, we do fall short sometimes. Like for example, there are times where I my thoughts are really ruling me as well, my negative thoughts, my
Mm-hmm.
like um minsan sasabihan ako ni Miguel na parang, snap out of it, like you get what I mean, like he would remind me like, hey, don't think that way, hey, be kind to yourself, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have people who can put you back to that, also to your center. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, so community is still so important, especially with handling emotions that you feel like minsan natatalo ka sa sarili mong emosyon,
Mm-hmm.
you're
Yeah.
your own worst enemy also sometimes. So minsan natatalo ka sa sa sarili mong ego, sa sarili mong overreactive emotions and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a good ano naman, a good support, and who would not judge you for making
Mm-hmm.
mistakes, who would actually help you, and yun, those are the things naman that would be good for people to have, a good support, good friends to guide them also, and not judge them when they're making mistakes, but
Mm-hmm.
at least help
Mm-hmm.
them, yun naman yung
Yeah.
take ko doon.
Yeah, and I think, shout out to our partners.
Yes.
They have really held us up. I would say, like, my
Mm-mm.
husband really helped me and really held me through this whole
Mm-hmm.
2021. But we're here. We're all
Yes.
here with the grace of
Yes.
the
Yes.
universe. We are here today, and we are in 2021. And yesterday, we had an announcement that fully vaccinated individuals will no longer need masks,
Yeah.
Yes,
indoors,
I heard
outdoors,
about
on the
that
discretion of the
previously.
businesses.
Yes.
Okay.
Depends
Um,
on the business.
so things are starting to, there's a gleam of hope,
Yes.
you know, and we have to look at 2021 with a new light, and
Mm-hmm.
with new challenges that we need to face. So what are you guys hopeful for the year to come?
For this 2021.
Yeah, as we step
2021.
out of this whole new normal.
Well, I hope that people would kasi okay, forgive apologies in advance if this might come off, if people
If you
misinterpret.
have others.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But when people keep on saying like, "Yay, back to normal," I think you miss the purpose of what 2020 is
Yes,
Yeah.
actually.
absolutely.
Um, 2020 is like a reset for everyone. It is actually a time when we actually need to reflect on
Yes.
ourselves.
Mm.
So what I'm really looking forward to, and what I'm really hopeful for 2021 is that people would be more um kind to one another. I'm sorry if I keep on like emphasizing these on
Right.
every episode because we need it, especially nowadays when marami pa ring miscommunication in terms of like different communities here in the US. Like Asian hate is still on the rise.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Marami pa ring issues sa sa mga iba't ibang states.
Yes.
So I just hope that people would be more kind with their words, and I hope that I'll be able to travel soon
Yes.
because I've been dying to see my godchildren, and I hope na people would be more creative. Kasi last year people were creative, but this time I'm expecting more that people
Mhm.
would go out of their comfort zones. That
Pursue their
you,
hearts. Yung parang
yeah,
ganun. Oh.
like it's like you survived 2020. You could do much more in 2021, you know.
Mm.
Yes,
So
that's
I
so true.
hope I could see more creativeness to people for this year.
Yes. Oh, that's
Yun.
good. That's good naman.
Mm-mm.
And Julie, do you have anything to add for what are you expecting for this stepping out of this new normal here?
Because I agree with Paula. It's never gonna be like we're back to normal. It's not gonna be back to wherever then like 2019 or whatever year prior to experiencing 2020 ba. What I mean is because 2020 really taught us about mortality rin talaga. A lot
Mhm.
of people
Mm.
died. Oh my goodness. Like, I'm just so thankful that, thank you, God. Thank you, universe. Thank you, good energies, that my family were protected. But a lot of people, it just hit close to home, diba? Even on my Facebook friends list, I have friends on my list who died. So it's heartbreaking. And death is the greatest teacher for me. Like, if you really want to learn about life, then death is the greatest teacher, because
Yes.
you know that it's not permanent. You know that you have limited time. So with that in mind, if you're going to choose to waste it on negativity, on hurting yourself, hurting others, being inconsiderate, then remember that when you leave, the negative impact that you've created is going to flow. The negative impact that you leave will affect others that
Yeah.
you left behind. So for me, as being death as the greatest teacher, make sure that you start having positive impact. Make sure that you start to improve those eternal values that will keep the positive uh, or the positivity, the good impact in life, that will keep it flowing. So
Mm.
that alam mo na kahit mawala ka na sa mundo na 'to, yung mga naiwan mo, the ones that you left behind, your impact, your energy, the good energy that you've given to other people will continue yun. So that's
Mm-mm.
what I'm just saying, as being death as the greatest teacher, because that's what I saw. A lot of deaths for
Mhm.
2020. And not
Mm.
only that, diba, a lot of people also, for example, Sky, you yourself said that 2020, that's when you realize that you really have to take care of your overall health, right? So
Correct.
it's kind of like you killed your old self, who the one who didn't really took care of the overall health. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So now it's like a rebirth for you also. So
Yes.
let's let
Correct.
let's all start with that. It's like a rebirth,
Mhm.
and
Mm.
having this rebirth, let's all make good choices. You know,
Yeah.
the money 2020 just proved to us that money, it's not, it's
Not
not
everything.
really, yeah, it's not really like, hindi dapat yun yung pinanghahawakan ng
It's
buhay
not
mo.
the essential thing in life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. 2020 taught us that too also. So knowing those big learnings that we went through, I hope that we make big changes for the betterment of ourselves, because it will affect everyone else too. kumbaga, if you change yourself, you change the world. Sabi nga ng
Mhm.
Gojira. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes,
Oo.
I believe that. And I think the pandemic just showed how broken our healthcare system is.
Oh, yeah, that
Oh
And
too.
a
It
lot
yeah.
of
shows now.
our
Mm.
unfortunately, it also showed how our government and our administration also
In the Philippines, per se.
reacts to
Mm.
stress and pandemic and unfortunate events. Unfortunately, we have a lot to learn, and I hope that we all learned on how to respond to it. Emergencies in
Yes.
general.
Yeah.
Be prepared. Um,
Can I say
and
something also?
sure.
Because the good thing also that happened is, tingnan nyo, 2021, nagkaroon ng community pantry.
Mm-hmm.
People are now realizing that, hey, let's help out and all that. And yun yung parang magandang sinasabi ni Paula kanina na may
Being
yung,
kind to
oo,
others. Yes.
nagkaroon ng
Mm-hmm.
ganong change, 'di ba? And ang
Yeah.
dami ng mga community pantries I heard sa Philippines, like all over. And it's a compassion movement. It's a bayanihan
Mm-hmm.
movement. So that's very inspiring. I just wanted to add that.
Um,
Oh.
Yeah, and
yeah.
I believe in humans. I still I believe in the
Yes.
goodness of everybody,
Oo.
and I think for me, I always give benefit of the doubt in every situation
Yes.
because
Oo.
I think people deserve um, kindness no matter where you're from, and to all the people here listening who are struggling with change and death and hardships. Life is short.
Yes.
The next thing you know will be 50. The next thing you know will be 60. And the next thing who
Mhm.
knows? But we're all gonna end up like in the ground. Because
Yes.
like
Yeah.
death is also a good teacher, but death is also a good equalizer.
Yes. Mhm.
Um,
I agree.
right. So life is
Mm-hmm.
short, and our problems 10 years ago were like, what? I mean, I can't
Yes.
believe that was my problem 10 years ago. Right?
Yes.
Napakaliit na bagay na we're putting too much emphasis on. So yeah, like we just need to learn how to really exercise our mind and
Mm-hmm.
Alam
exorcise.
mo, just to cut you off, guys, meron ako nung college ako na, kasi our topic is mind over matter. Speaking of mind over matter, I remember when I was in college and I was drunk with my friend Sam. And then my parents were gonna pick me up. And then I
Uh-huh.
had to like, mind over matter, mind over matter. I kept repeating that, and my friend also, mind over matter, mind over matter. Hindi ka lasing, hindi halata, okay lang yan, So, just ano lang,
Yeah,
share ko lang kasi we're talking about our topic, mind over
yeah.
matter. Yeah. So, something like that, 'di ba? Kaya natin 'yan.
Kaya
Kaya
natin.
natin 'to.
Yeah.
We're not
Kasi
alone. Yes.
our problems today are gonna be what we're gonna be laughing about probably in 10 years from now.
Yeah.
So we just
Yeah.
always, and I think I've learned something very important today. So you just have to have fun. You have to
Mm.
enjoy life. I know we're stepping into this new normalcy, which I hope we never get back to the normal that we were before. We have to
Mm-hmm.
make changes in society.
Yeah.
So I think stepping into this new normal, I would like to see again more kindness going around,
Yes.
better structure, better
Yeah.
response, and truly that the things we hold on to may not be exactly really important. So reassessing,
Compassion over
yeah,
greed.
reassessing what you value, I think is very
Yes.
important.
Yeah.
Reassessing what you value in your life, and who are the people who are important to you.
Mm.
And like what you said, community is such an important um, ingredient in surviving this because
Yes.
we're all stronger together,
Yes.
and
Mm-hmm.
coming together is just really one way in order to mend
Yes.
and move
We
forward.
heal as yung ano
Mm-hmm.
nila, ano yun, I think they had that hashtag ba sa Philippines ba yun, we heal as one.
We heal as
Pero
one.
Yeah, that's
pero
wonderful.
yeah.
I hope
Yan lang.
slowly.
I
I
hope
hope
talaga.
I
Yeah.
hope that slowly people start to wake up and
Yes.
really value what are essential in life,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Sabi sa Little Prince, what is invisible what is
Yes.
essential is invisible to the eye. So
And
yeah,
what are those things? I think
those
love
are
above all.
the
Love,
eternal values.
kindness.
Yes, love,
Exactly.
kindness, and how yung mga hindi physical na nahawakan na ano, yun yung nasa loob mo talaga. Love,
Exactly.
Yeah.
kindness,
And that's
Like
my
just
vertical.
understanding,
this.
That's my
forgiveness.
vertical line here. That's my
Yeah.
vertical line, and the horizontal line. So that's where the
Yeah.
vertical line comes from everything
Yes.
not seen. You
Yeah.
know, we have to
And
focus
Guys,
on those things.
may
Yeah.
mga comments dito na i-highlight
Oh,
lang natin so we can say hi to
ay,
them.
sige.
Like, see? Enzo, so empowering. Cheers to productive conversation. Thank you.
salamat.
Thank you. Ito, Paula, ikaw mag-shoutout dito.
Shout out!
Kay Jane.
Jane kisses!
Si
Shout
Jane
out.
yan.
Hi,
And,
Jane.
hi, Jane.
Hi,
Thanks for
Jane.
watching us. And then, ikaw naman magbasa nito. Ayan. For you, Sky. Si
Pa-shout
Janelle.
out po. Hi, Janelle. And grow,
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 grow.
grow.
That's right. We're just gonna
Yes.
grow
Go, go,
together.
go!
Grow.
Thank you. Yeah.
I like that.
Go, go, go!
And,
Sino pa?
oh, si Jonas.
Shout out.
Yes. Powerful topic. Thank you. Thank you.
Salamat.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yes. All right. And yun naman lang yung masasabi ko rin about mind over matter na no matter how stressful situations we have in our lives, just remember that you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who will be helpful for you. You know, you can reach out to them and
Mhm.
always focus then on good thoughts kasi nga what you focus on, that's how you will
Who you
feel and
attract.
that's who you will become and what you will attract. Yes. So, yun, be
Mm.
mindful of the thoughts that you're focusing on. Maraming thoughts dyan, marami. Sobra. Pero mag-focus ka dun sa what's good for you, good for your overall spirituality, and yeah,
Mm.
kindness, humble ka sa mga
That's
tao,
right.
sa sarili mo.
Yeah. Ako gusto ko lang mag-add
Yeah.
sandali sa sinabi lang ni Julie is listen to your heart also. Find time to, like 1 minute lang and don't feel obligated or na parang kailangan mong sumabay sa norm. I mean, take time to step back and then look at the bigger picture and see how you could benefit from that and how can you reciprocate in that. Kasi kung lagi ka naman compromise, how can you actually find time for yourself?
For
How can you
yourself.
put value on yourself? So, kumbaga, hindi ka na nagiging aligned sa center mo, right?
Mm.
So, yeah, so try to stay focused. Like yung sinabi nga ni Julian Sky is yung i-train natin yung brains natin
Yes.
na alam mo yun na yung positive thoughts lang, ganun.
Saka yung heart and
And
mind,
oo,
magka-balance
yung,
yan.
oo. Yun, just listen to your heart and see, and mag-reflect ka lang kung ano ba talaga yung gusto ko? Ano ba yung swak sa akin? Yung ganun ba?
Mm.
And how can I add value to the community and to spread positivity to everyone? Kasi that is very important. I'm a true believer of positive energy.
Yes.
Once na nag-ignite yun, domino effect na yun. And
That's
that's
right.
very
Yung
healthy to
momentum, yes.
everyone. Mm-hmm.
Guys, ano pala, I'll just put this also on our live because I didn't get to click it kanina. Hi, Lawrence! Si
Ah,
Lawrence.
Hi,
Shout out sa mga
Lawrence.
host. Yes.
hello.
Yes. There you
Yeah.
go.
All right. Anything else to add, ladies, before we close up?
Well, excited lang ako again for our next episode because every episode I feel like we're really self-discovering and yun nga, when we talk about it and when we talk about the good things that we want to train ourselves about, we
Mm-hmm.
want to train ourselves to be more mindful, to be more kind, humble, and all that. And when we talk about these things, parang we're manifesting it. We're also creating that energy for us. and I actually feel better. My day feels better. I feel okay kanina before doing the Menage live. But now after discussing this with you girls, I feel better. So thank you. Yes.
Aw,
Thank you guys for
Yes.
sharing. I really
yes.
appreciate you, you know, being open and sharing your story, guys, because I know it's hard. Everybody has a story, and we all heal in different ways, and we all heal in different stages. So take time for yourselves. Just get to know yourself better. I
Yeah.
think that's one key ingredient as well. So it all starts in the mind. Okay, so we all know
Yes.
now.
And actually, sabi sa Buddhism, yung mind actually, what they refer to the mind is actually the balance of the heart and the mind. Like you have to use your heart when you're deciding also. It's not
That's right.
just the
Mm.
mind. Yeah, parang yun yung
So follow your heart
mindfulness.
and then follow your mind, and
Yeah.
then find the center in
And
that.
yes, and find the center.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Cause yeah, yun
Mm-mm.
lang.
yeah. So guys, catch us again. You'll be
Yes,
seeing us every Saturdays. Here, wherever you're watching from, maybe
California.
YouTube or no
Yeah.
YouTube or Facebook.
Oh
We
yes,
go live. This is every Saturday,
California.
California time at 6 p.m. Okay, it would be nice that we should pay more attention to the chat box here.
Yeah.
So it'll be more interactive. So next time we'll be mindful of that box over there. So it'll be more an interactive kind of thing, and hope
Yes.
you guys join us in our conversation here.
And
So
then
catch
sa
us
Philippines
again.
naman, Sky,
Oh, in the
let's
Philippines,
announce it
we
also.
come out the next day.
Sunday,
That's on
yes,
Saturday. So it's simultaneously on Sunday at around
at
9 a.m.
9.
9.
9
Yes,
a.m.
9.
just
Yeah.
remember the number 69.
Yeah.
Because 6
And
p.m. California, yes, Saturday. Pag sa Pilipinas, 9 a.m. Sunday, kinabukasan, 9
diba?
a.m.
I
Sunday.
like the way you think,
69, di ba?
Julie.
Oo. So, so every time we have to announce our time, just remember it's 69 and then menage a trois pa, di ba? Menage a trois,
Oo,
meaning.
Menage à Trois pa yun.
Oh,
Mm.
bongga. But yes, we'll see you again next week. Yes, 6 p.m.
Come back.
California, Saturday, and Sunday, Philippines, 9 a.m. Mm.
Yes.
9. Yeah.
So
All
thank you
right.
guys for joining us, and we'll see you again next week. Have a
Thank
wonderful week ahead.
you.
Sky,
Bye.
yung punchline
Bye.
natin.
Ay,
And
Ay, oo nga
oh,
pala.
sorry. And
it's
we are.
okay.
One more time. One more time.
Yes, one more time. Okay.
And we are
Menage a
Menage
Menage à
a
trois.
Trois.
See you again next
Bye.
week, guys.
Bye.